everyone, welcome back to Beginner Pilates. This is video 2, and in full disclosure, I have filmed 3 of these videos and unknowingly deleted the second one. So this is take 2 of video 2, and I'm hoping to get everything in that I plan to get in that you will see in video 3. So rest assured, it'll all get in there, we'll figure it out. And if you have not watched the first video, hop on back, watch that first video first, and then come on back and join us for the second one. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna do some stuff we did before and then just a few new things. So make your way to the floor. Lie all the way down. Let your body be however it wants to be for a moment. Just kind of relax onto the floor. Bring yourself present. Take an inhale and exhale. Do that again. Another inhale and exhale. If you want, let the knees fall to the left and turn your head right. If this doesn't feel good for your body today, feel free to just be still or take any other stretch you want as we get started. Let your knees gently fall the other way and turn your head in opposition. We will start with our abdominal series, which you have seen before. You're going to come to your back. We're going to curl the head and the shoulders up, bring both legs in. Keep your right leg in, straighten your left leg, and then switch. And a reminder that the lower the leg, the more work it is on those abdominals to not let the pelvis tilt forward. So we're going to find a good height for where you're at today, keeping that core engaged right away. Let's do 2 more. And then bring both knees in and take your head down. That was our single leg stretch. You can do this whole series with your head down if the neck is gripping. You're also welcome to curl up initially, rest down for a moment, curl back up, wherever you're at, whatever you need. Going on to the next exercise in our abdominal series, double leg stretch. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Straighten both legs, reach your arms overhead. Bring the arms forward and the legs in. Reach out, bend in. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last one. And then rest your head. Keep your right knee in, straighten your left leg onto the ground. Check in, see where that left leg naturally wants to go. Try to have it be in line with your hip. Stretch that right leg towards the ceiling. Hold on behind the leg. If your leg does not look as straight as mine, that's okay. It can be a little bit bent. It can also be lower. Or if you have a strap, either a band or even just a strap or like the tie of a robe. Do people wear robes? I don't know. I have ones that I never wear. Take that around your foot, grab the strap, and that'll hopefully allow the head to relax. You can always also take something under your head to help support the head if you need it, by all means. Anyway, the point is to get a stretch in the back of this right leg and to not have any tension in the face or the neck. Stay here for a moment. And then bend the knee in, switch legs. Let the right leg go straight, let the left leg go long. You're welcome to reach higher towards the calf if you can. Try not to hold on behind the knee, because then that tends to make the knee bend. We want to try to keep length behind the leg. Bend that knee in, switch legs again, or I should say bring both knees in. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Straighten the left leg in the air, try to be as low as you can, and then take the right leg towards the ceiling. Do a double, pull, pull, and then switch. Pull, pull, and switch. So your hands are pulling the leg closer to you, but that doesn't mean your butt lifts off. That just means that your pelvis anchors down even more. Again with the right and left. legs reaching longer every time they lower. One more right. One more left. Bend the knees, rest to the head. That was our single straight leg stretch. Up next, double straight leg stretch. This is the one where you have the options of where to put your hands. You can make them into this triangle or diamond shape and place them under your tailbone with a little tactile cue to keep your butt down as the legs lower and lift, or stick your hands behind your head and your hands can help support the head. I'm going to have mine here today. Take the legs in the air and then straighten them towards the ceiling. They can be a little bent, so they can be a little low, but wherever they start, we want to keep that pelvis flat. Our legs are heavy and they're going to make the body move. We don't want to hurt the back. So find that good position for you and your body today. Have the legs as close together as you can. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Anchor your butt down. Inhale as you lower the legs. Exhale to lift. Only as low as you can get back up from. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then rest in and down. Double straight leg stretch. Last up in our abdominal series is crisscross. Hands will be behind the head. I believe what we did before, you're going to curl up in the center. I believe we had our legs down. So I'm going to show it that way. Let's do it that way. And then I'll give you what it actually is. I'm going to curl up in the center. Twist to the right. Twist to the left. When you twist, think about reaching and reaching. And it's not just side to side. So curl up in the center. Twist and reach to the right. Twist and reach up left. Twist and reach up right. Twist and reach up left. One more to the right. One more to the left and down. So that's what our upper body is doing for our crisscross. If you want to just keep it there for today, totally fine. If you want to take it to its full version, our legs are what they were for our single leg stretch, the very first abdominal series. So let's try and add that together. Hands behind the head. Start with your legs in tabletop. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Twist to the right and straighten the left leg. And then twist left and straighten the right leg. When the knee bends, try to keep your foot in line with your knee. And if your leg is struggling to do that, don't bring your knee in as far. Sometimes things get a little wonky if things are too close. Try to keep the knee over the hip. And that should help find that alignment. Whew, one more right, one more left. And then rest down. That was our crisscross full version. Again, you are always welcome to keep your feet down for that. I wonder, you could, if you want to keep one foot down, it's an option to pause if you want to play with that, go for it. But that was our abdominal series. Hug your knees in, take a moment. We're going to go on to our bridge. So a reminder that anytime we're lifting our lower body, anytime we're going towards our shoulders, or any kind of inverting or overhead, you always want to keep your head in line with your spine, which just means don't turn your head side to side. A lot of people will do that when they're in a bridge just to look in the mirror and check themselves out and look at their alignment. It could be pretty damaging to your neck and your spine, so don't do it. It's not worth it. So for our bridge, we're going to be parallel, hip distance apart. Arms are going to be down. You're going to scoop your pelvis under. You're going to lift the bottom of the pelvis up. And then you're going to lift your hips. And then you're going to think about peeling the spine up off the mat. And then rolling down like you have a bracelet or necklace. And you're just lifting one off the floor at a time. And then you're placing one down at a time. Or like the chain, I'm trying to have this be relevant to anybody who's watching, or if you can want to think of like the chain of a bicycle or something like that, and how it's just different parts, one at a time and one at a time, going down, going up. Or if you want to picture the real thing, the vertebrae of your spine, one bone at a time, one bone at a time. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking and let's start doing. Feet down, hips, knees, ankles in line, arms down, shoulders opening, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, peel the spine up off your mat. Make sure you feel the whole part of each foot down. Do you feel your toes, your heels, the inner and outer edge of those feet? And then with control, roll down the back of the body. Again, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, peel the spine up off the floor. Check in to see if you feel equal between the right side and the left side. And then rolling down. Let's do that again. Tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, peel the spine up. You should feel your glutes and your hamstrings activating. And then rolling down. Let's bring those knees in. Take a little rock side to side. Alright, on to something new. We're going to work on our single leg circles. Let us start with our right knee in. Take your left leg long. Just take one more little twist before we go into that circle. And then hug your left knee in. Take your right leg long. Let the left knee cross towards the right. Just stretch back there, perhaps twist in the low back. And I do want to talk about one thing before we get into the circles, and it's just rotation in the legs, or turnout versus parallel. So you can stay as you are. Yeah, I'm going to turn this way. So when we're parallel, foot, ankle, knee, hip, that's all in the same line. When we turn out, we want to turn out from the front of the leg, turn everything out, and then back parallel. So we want the whole leg to be turning out. I'm just going to attempt to lift to show you better. So right now we're parallel, and then we're going to turn out from the very top of that thigh bone, and then back parallel. Your foot can be pointed or flexed, it doesn't matter. You stay down, stay on your backs. Don't do what I'm doing with this lifted position, but that's the idea. So we're gonna just work that for a moment. So I want you to take both feet to the ceiling, turn out, and parallel. Turn out, and parallel. We're gonna do 3 more like this, and then we'll try in a different position and see if it's any different. 1 more. And then bend the knees, stay as you are. Hold on behind the leg, rock back, rock forward, rock back, rock forward, rock back, and forward. 1 more. And then come all the way up. Take your legs in front of you, and we're gonna just go over that in a seated position to see if that's any different. So, legs are together, parallel. They might not be all the way together. You might be a little bit apart. Part of your legs might be touching, other parts might not be. Whatever you and your body are is great. Parallel means that your kneecaps are towards the ceiling, your toes are towards the ceiling, the legs are in line with your hips. Turn out means that from the very top of that leg, everything turns out and it comes back. So we don't want to just turn out from, I can't even do it, but we don't want to just turn out from the ankle or from the knee, because that could be damaging to the ankle or the knee or the hip since it's all connected. So we want to be parallel, and whole leg turns out, whole leg comes back, whole leg goes out and back. And noticing, is one leg turning out more than the other? If it is, try to find some symmetry. So if that other leg won't really go further without pain or whatever, don't force it. Just have the other leg be a little less. So we want to work symmetrically, and as you continue on with your workout journey, perhaps that one that's not quite there could get there. We'll see. Anyway, that's going to come into play into our circles. So lie back down. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk about turnout. Let's see, hug the right knee in, left leg to the floor. Straighten that right leg towards the ceiling. So on our single leg circles, just our leg is moving, but everything else is active to stay stable and like really down. I'm not gripped, not tensed, engaged. We're gonna go small and slow to start. You can have this knee bent if you need to. It's about getting that rotation in the leg. Look at that, it related. Great. So we're going to turn out the right leg, open to the side, small circle down, come in and up. When you're up, you're back parallel. You can do this whole thing turned out, that's fine. But I want to give you that challenge right away to find that turnout as the circle happens. And then I'm going to say to let the leg be however it wants to be, parallel or turned out when you finish. Just as long as you have that turnout when you do that circle. So turn out that right leg, open to the side, circle down and up. You're drawing a circle on the ceiling or on the wall. That's maybe the size of like a big plate or a basketball. It doesn't have to be big, but what I want you to try to achieve is openness in the hip and smooth movement of that leg within the hip. My hands are all over my body, so you feel free to do the same. You can have this left hand on the left hip to try to stabilize. You can also have your right hand on your right hip just to kind of see what's going on there. Is it gripped? Is it stuck? And my knee is bent because I am not really thinking about my leg, but I'm thinking about the top of my leg and my hip. Let's bend that knee for a minute. That was a lot of circles. We're going to do the reverse. So the reverse will be to cross the midline, lower down slightly as you open the leg, turn it out, and then lift. Cross, lower, turn out, open, and lift. Now you might have noticed that when my right leg crossed, my left leg kind of turned out. We want to try to keep that left side, root it down into the floor. So try not to let that left leg wobble as your right leg is circling in, turn out, open, and up. Let's do 2 or 3 more. 1 or 2 more. And then 1 more if you want. And then hug that knee in, take a little twist if it feels good. And then we're going to switch legs. So your right leg will be underneath you. That left knee is going to come in. And then you'll stretch that left leg towards the ceiling. Right side is going to be anchored and supported. You can have this right leg parallel or turned out. You know what? Try to be parallel. Don't be like super hard on yourself, but wherever it's at, try to maintain where it's at as we go. So this left leg will turn out, open, circle down, and up. Open, circle, in, and up. Open, circle, in, and up. Okay. We did quite a few on that right leg, so we should do the same amount or thereabouts on the left leg. I feel my abdominals engaging deeper when that leg is low and out, and to help bring the leg in. I want you to try to feel those abdominals to help control the movement of the leg so that the leg doesn't have to grip. Let's do 2 more circles out. 1 more. Bend that knee in, and then we'll do the reverse. Make sure you are not holding tension anywhere. Take that leg towards the ceiling. Right leg is going to stay where it is. Right shoulder is going to stay down. And then the left leg will cross, lower, turn out, open, and lift. Cross, lower, turn out, open, and lift. Keep going. If you had or have a strap or a rope, bathrobe, tie, belts. Why did I think about belts earlier? Anyway, if you have one of that and you want to use this here, same thing. Take that around your foot And then just with your arms, you're going to help support the leg. Totally valid to grab that if you have it, or to get one if you think it could be helpful. Let's do a few more. Wanting to feel easy rotation within the hips, smooth movement. Straight leg if you have it, and if it feels good today, but you can keep the knee bent if you want. Let's do one more. Good, and then rest, and let the knees be wide. Take a wide, wide rock. Good, guys, that was our single leg circles. All right, hold on behind the legs, rock yourself back and forth a few times. And then come all the way up. We're going to revisit our roll-ups. Make sure your sits bones are underneath you. Shake those legs out a little if you need it. Hold on to the legs to start. Round back, round up, and sit tall. Just that a couple times. Round back, round up, and sit tall. Can you do that without the arms there? Can you reach the arms forward? Make sure the arms are as wide as your shoulders, that they're not closed off. One more. Good. Let's do the full thing, and our hands are on our legs if we need them. You can bend the knees slightly, round the body all the way down. Keep your heels on the floor. Let go when you don't need the arms anymore. Reach the arms overhead, arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, grab those legs. Sit tall. Round back, reach for the legs when you need to. Round up, exhale. Good. If you want to think about it, and if you're able to think about it, as this is going, pay attention to what those feet are doing. Try not to let them roll in or roll out, but really working parallel legs and feet. Let's do, again, reach the arms, round back. If you need to, grab those legs when you need to. And then let the arms go overhead, arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Reach if you have to. Sit tall, take a stretch forward. And a reminder that if holding onto the legs, specifically when coming up, I have found that that can be more challenging than going down, because we have gravity to help us go down. But even if this is not possible for you today, make your way down, bring your arms up, come to your side, and then sit tall. Round back, holding on, and then come to the other side. Start to round up as much as you can. If it's just to here, that's all it is today. Come to your other side and sit tall. I would much prefer that happen than muscling through or legs kicking off or abdominals pushing out, because that could cause injury. And we don't want to train our body to do it the wrong way, with the legs all lifting off and everything. So when you're down there, if it's just not happening for you today, come to one side and then come all the way up. Totally fine. You know what it is, and you can get there. All right, let us do one more roll down. Try to have those arms reaching long for as long as you can. All the way back, and then however you need to come up today, come on up. Sit tall and stretch. Forward reach for the toes or the ankles or the shins. Allow the backs of the legs to stretch. Allow the head to relax. Your back can be rounded. It can be straight. Whatever feels good for you today is fine. And then we're going to come to our hands and our knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. If it's too much to be on the hands, on the wrist, you can come up to your fists. You can come down to forearms and elbows if you want to. But if you're okay to be on your hands, we will be on our hands. From here, we're going to round the spine. Let the tailbone tuck, let the head drop, and then lengthen through a flat back and arch. Stick your butt out and look up with your head, lifting your chin. Engage those abdominals, lift the spine, round, lengthen, and arch. So we are allowing that natural connection between the top of our spine and the bottom of our spine, between the crown of our head and our tailbone. They naturally want to move together. It's just how we're built, or how most people are built, I should say. So we are enjoying that and allowing it for just one more. And then if child's pose feels good, feel free to take a child's pose. Bring your feet together, let your knees open, sit your butt back, let your body rest forward. You can have the elbows bent, you can have the arms straight, you can have the arms down at your side, you can have your head turned one way, whatever feels good. If you do have your head turned one way, go ahead and switch, turn it the other way. And from here, we're going to come back to our hands and our knees. We're going to come back in line, and again, working parallel. We're going to tuck the right toes under, reach the right leg long. Be mindful of where your head is. Is your chin dropped? Is your head lifted and crunching the back? We want to keep a long back of the spine, and we want to keep space between our chin and our chest. So right leg is extended. From here, point the right foot and just lift the leg and lower back to the toes. Lift the leg, low. Lift the leg and lower. We're adding a little bit of coordination too with pointing the foot and flexing. 2 more. 1 more. And then bend that knee. Did you feel more weight in the right arm when you were doing that? Think about it. Feel free to let me know. We're going to add a piece to that, but first, let's do our left leg. Feeling balanced between the arms and the legs. Tuck the left toes under. Stretch the left leg long. Point the foot, lift. Flex, take the toes down. Point to lift. Flex, take the toes down. Are your abdominals engaged? They should be. Do you feel this in your low back? You should not. That is a clue that our core stopped and our pelvis is tilted. So keep the core active and lifted and connected. Keep your tailbone reaching away from your head, essentially. Let's do 1 more. Lift, lower, and then down. Rest for a moment. You can take another child's pose. You can just sit back. Do what feels good. Take an inhale. And then exhale. We're going to add a piece to that. We can do it. Alright, back to hands and knees. Tuck the right toes. Straighten the right leg. Lift the right leg. Did your hip lift? Lower the leg if it did. If that feels good, reach that left arm forward. Opposite arm and leg. Feel the cross-body connection between your right leg and your left arm. And then bring everything back down and in. Feel balanced with everything down. We're going to go to the other side. Left toes tuck. Left leg straightens. Left leg lifts without letting the hip lift. And once you feel stable, if you feel stable, reach the right arm. Check in with your head. Keep reaching long through your arm and your leg. And then bring everything down. Let's do that one more time. Tuck the right toes. Straighten the right leg. Lift the right leg. Reach the left arm. Stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything in. Tuck the left toes. Straighten the left leg. Lift the left leg. Engage those abdominals. Reach the right arm. Stay there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down and rest. You can sit back. You can take child's pose. You can round and arch. Just take take a moment. When you're ready, come all the way up onto your stomach and have your hands one on top of the other. And then take your forehead down to your hands. Have the tops of your feet down on the floor. And again, we're working parallel in those legs. Realizing how much of Pilates is parallel. Maybe we should add some rotation. So, forehead is glued to the hands. You're going to lift your arms, which will lift the head a few inches off of the mat, and then lower down. However, when that happens, try that again. Did your pelvis tilt? Did your butt lift a little bit? Did your low back kind of feel it? If that's the case, I want you to think about the pelvis, and I want you to think about your pubic bone, and I want you to think scoop. Pubic bone down into the floor. So what's happening when we do that is that we're engaging our abdominals. So if I'm tilted right now, and if I think my pubic bone the opposite way, that connects everything that's happening in the front of my body. So as we're on our stomach, and we're on top of those abdominals, when we tuck the pelvis and take the pubic bone down, it engages those abdominals so that when we lift, it allows the muscles in the upper part of our back to work, and our abdominals are already working. So the opposite doesn't need to work. If that doesn't make sense, that's okay. But I will say that if you don't feel like your pelvis is tilted, there's no need to take that step. You know your body. We're going to do that again. Lift your arms, lift your head, lift your heart. Lower down. Engage those abdominals. Lift the head, the hands, the heart. Lower down. Let's do 2 more. How are your shoulders? Are they up by your ears? Relax the shoulders. And down, rock your hips. And then keeping your elbows bent, you're just going to bring your arms to the side. We're going to lift a little higher. For now, just come to the forearms and elbows. And then you can bring your arms back as you slide, your body comes down. So slide the arms forward, lift the head and the chest. And then lower down. Now, I want you to try to keep your hands in one place. Press down, lift the head and the chest. Lift a little higher. And then think about rolling down the front of your spine. Lifting the head, lifting the chest. Press down in the hands and or the arms. And then lower down. Now, as we are doing this swan, is what it's called, what's going on with the legs and the feet? Make sure that your feet stay down and that the tops of your legs are down onto the floor. Let's do 2 more. If this is aggravating your low back, come down a little bit. Don't go up as high. 1 last one. And then lower and down. Rest for a moment. You're going to come up onto your forearms and your elbows. Legs are long behind you. Core is still engaged. Think about your abdominals lifting up the front of the body. Think about that tailbone dropping down and back. We're going to come to our legs now, and it can be harder to do a movement that is behind us that we can't see because we can't see it, but also when we don't do stuff behind us. We usually turn and face whatever it is. So it might be a little bit tricky at first, but I trust that you can get it. So feel the tops of your legs, the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Bend your right knee and do a double kick. And then lower the leg. Left. Double kick. And then lower. So we're just kicking our leg. However, your arms should be active. And your abdominals should be super, super engaged so that your low back is not crunching. And so that your body doesn't reverberate with this kick. So again, we're isolating. Just one body part is moving at a time, but the rest of the body is still super active and present. Let's do 2 more. And then rest down. That was our single leg kick. Now I didn't say, and I did not demonstrate, but traditionally how it's done is you point and then flex, and point and then flex. So next time you do that, or next time we do that together, we'll do that point flex. After our single leg kick, double leg kick. Legs will be all the way together. I'm going to break this down for you. So the legs will just kick, and I will say point, flex, point, and then they'll go down. And then again, they'll point, they'll flex, and they'll point, and they'll go down. What I don't want to happen is don't let your knees open. That's not good. So we're working parallel. Legs are all the way together if possible. If it doesn't feel good, you can be hip distance. That is a little harder though, so I will say that. So that's what our legs are doing. Now for our upper body. Hands are stacked, one on top of the other, elbows bend, and go down to the floor. So hands are high up on the back. You will start in this position, and when the legs kick, your hands stay there. And then when the feet touch down, your arms reach, and then your shoulders lift, and then your body lifts. And your face comes to the center, and then you turn your head the other way. You rebend your elbows. Your legs will kick. 3, 2, 1. Your feet touch. Your arms reach, your shoulders lift, your head and your chest lift. There's no tension in that neck. And then you turn the other way. You bend the elbows, and you kick the legs. 3, 2, 1. The legs touch down. The arms reach, the shoulders lift, the chest and head lift. And then last time, turn your head the other way, bend the elbows, kick the legs. 3, 2, 1. Feet go down, arms and shoulders reach, head and chest lift. And then rest. Those are double leg kick. Nice job. Alright guys, hands down, come on up. Take a child's pose, or you can come back to your hands and your knees, and round and arch. Take a moment, do what you need. Alright guys, coming out of your child's pose or your hands and knees, we're going to do some side leg again. Or continuing from our first video. We haven't done it yet today. So you're going to set yourself up on the left side of the body. The legs are long. Left hand can support the head. Really try to be on top of the side of your body so your hip is under you and your shoulder is under you. Try not to be back on it. Really try to bring it underneath you. Grab a pillow, grab some blocks, grab whatever you need to help support that head if you need it. And then we want to still keep that core engaged so that our body doesn't roll forward and back, because it will kind of go with our leg. So let's have the legs stacked, one on top of the other. Legs will be straight and the feet will be a little bit ahead of your hips. And you want to try to have your hips and your shoulders in the same line. If you're on a mat, you can use the back edge of your mat as a guide to check in and see how that alignment is. I'm not on one, but I'm gonna try to eyeball it. If you want more of a challenge, you can bring your legs underneath you. That will be more of a balance challenge and a more stability challenge. Otherwise, feel free to bring your legs forward. This other hand can be on the floor supporting you as you need it. Keep your feet flexed, and we're going to stay parallel for now. We're just going to lift that leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So again, just that leg is moving, but everything else is active and engaged. Hopefully. We did 5. Let's pause for a minute and we're going to do 5 more. Because why not? Feel like you are leading with your heel, and then feel that inner thigh, like you're squeezing down. Lift, squeeze down, press down. Lift and lower. What happens in your body when the leg lifts? Where is there like movement or shifting that wants to happen? Just kind of check in. 1 more. Pause for a moment. We're going to keep this foot flexed. We're going to do a double kick to the front, And then with a pointed foot, we're going to take the leg behind us. Now I will say, when the leg goes behind, our body wants to go forward. So be aware of that and plan for that and engage those abdominals. Flex that foot, hand can be down. Double kick to the front, point the foot, and sweep the leg back. So this exercise, we're working the hamstring, and we're opening that hip flexor. We're working ankle articulation, and we're working those abdominals to help stabilize. This bottom leg should be active as well. Let's do one more. Double kick front, point to the back, and then rest down. You can let the legs relax, let your head and your arm relax too. Now, or next, we will work in a turned out position. We'll work that rotation, and we'll get to see it another way. So have your legs straight again where they were, and right now, my legs are parallel. Now, they are turned out. Your turnout doesn't need to be like that. It can be like this. It could be bigger if your natural rotation is more. Don't force anything. If it feels okay to be on the toes of that bottom foot, go for it. If not, you can just let that leg be however it wants to be. We're going to work both sides, so we'll get it. Flex your feet, or your right foot at least. Finding that rotation, you're going to slide your heel up your leg. Feel from behind and underneath, rotating, and then push back out. Keep that rotation. Try not to let that happen. Whatever your rotation is. So your knee is going to bend kind of on an angle, maybe towards the ceiling. What I don't want is this. Valid, totally valid, but we're working that rotation. So your heel slides up, your knee is lifting, and then your heel slides down. What's going on with your hip? Just try to keep your hip over your other hip. Your top hip over your bottom hip. And we'll do just two more. Heel slides up and down. Feel that leg rotating, rotating, rotating. Keep that rotation. And then rest the legs and rest the head and rest the arm. Good, guys. All right. Let's leave it at that. Let's do the other side. Turn onto your right side. Legs will be straight. Shoulders and hips in the same line, torso flat. Legs, feet slightly ahead of you. Right arm can be supporting the head. Left hand can be on the floor. Starting with parallel legs, flexed feet. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Two more. One more. Rest for a moment. We're going to do one more set. I want you to think about leading out with the heel, pressing down strongly with that inner thigh. Staying parallel and keeping the hip in place. Meaning, don't let the hip hike up. Don't let the side of the body shorten. 5 more times. Lift, press down. Lift and lower. 3, 2. Are your abdominals working? 1. Rest for a moment. Next, we have our double kick front, single point back. Double kick front, single point back. We'll do 5 of those. Both legs flexed, both feet flexed, both legs straight. Lift the top leg only as high as your hip. Double kick to the front, point to the back. Don't let your body roll forward. Flex front, point back. Flex front, point back. Engage your core more when the movement feels harder or when you feel like you're more wobbly. Take a moment, take an exhale, and engage those abdominals. This is the last one. And then rest that leg. So those 2 exercises, we were parallel. Now let us turn out. Let's see how the turnout is in this left leg. Heel slides up and heel slides down. If you can make it to your knee, cool. If not, that's fine too. Just working that rotation in that top leg. And a reminder that we always want our knee in line with our big toe and our second toe. So that is another cue with where the knee should go. Check in with where the toes are. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And then rest everything down. Good, everyone. Come back to your back. And we'll do a figure 4 stretch on each side. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Flex your left foot. If you are feeling the stretch in your left side here, stay there. If not, lift the legs, reach forward, grab onto the right leg, and gently pull the legs. You can hold on behind the thigh, or you can hold on at the shin. Just depends on how much of a stretch you would like. You should be able to rest your head. If it's a struggle, grab a pillow, let the head rest. You can also do this stretch seated on a chair or on the couch, a little forward, crossing one ankle over, and then lean your body forward. That'll get into it as well. No rush. When you're ready, uncross the left leg and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Left foot can be down. You can hold on behind the thigh, or you can hold on at the shin. We have our foot flexed of that foot that's crossed, just to protect the knee. Flexing the foot activates the back of your leg. Again, no rush. When you're ready, uncross the legs. Bring your feet down, have the pelvis flat. Take your hands behind your head. Curl the head and the shoulders up and lower. Curl up and lower. So remember how when we were on our hands and our knees and we were rounding and arching, and I said to allow that connection between the crown of your head and your tailbone to happen. Don't let it happen now. So don't let your butt lift, because that is just gripping in those hip flexors. It's shortening those hip flexors. It's shortening the hamstrings. We're almost done. Our abs should be pretty warm. Maybe they're a little too warm. But the more that we strengthen those abdominals, the more we're going to be able to separate the top from the bottom, all while wanting to get everything working together for the better. So when we do this upper body curl, I'm thinking the back of my pelvis is like just like heavy into the floor and down. Curl up and down. If your body is not getting it right away, it's very, very much okay. This is naturally how it's just natural. It's so many people, so many clients that I have do that. If you have a yoga block or a small like exercise ball, not a heavy one, but like an inflatable one, and you place that between your thighs or between your knees, sometimes giving our legs something to do to kind of hold something, that activates our lower abdominals, and that tends to keep our pelvis down. I don't have anything here. I'm not at my house, but I don't have anything with me where I am to demonstrate that for you. I will try to do that in another video, but that tends to help. Giving our inner thighs something to do helps our pelvis stay down. Let's come back to our curls. So we're going to curl up to the shoulder blades and then back down. Feel your feet down as well. Try to keep your elbows open. Let's do 3 more, 2 more, and last one, and then down. Good. So that was really getting like upper abdominals, maybe a little middle abdominals. Low abs are working a little bit to keep the pelvis where it is, but I'm going to give you something now that will target those low abs. So I'll see. I'm going to show it this way first. So you're going to take your right leg to tabletop, and you're going to flex the foot. Curl your head and your shoulders up just so you can look at the leg, see what's going on. The shape of your leg is going to stay as it is. Your right heel is going to tap and lift. Tap and lift. When you lift, think about there's a string attached to your abdominals in the middle of the top of your thigh. And when it's time to lift that leg, your abs engage, it pulls on that string and lifts the leg. So it really is just like a tap and a lift, and you don't even have to go all the way down. If that is making the pelvis rock, grab a pillow, place it underneath where your foot will be so that your foot still has that tactile cue, but so we're not going too far. So leg and tabletop, foot is flexed. You can reach the arms long. Take your hands behind the head if you want. Tap your heel down and then lift. If you did a bunch on the right leg already, pause for a moment and then place your right foot all the way down, and we'll switch to our left leg. Take the left to tabletop. We want to feel both hips down into the mat. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Tap your heel down, engage deeper to lift. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 2 more, exhale, 1 more, and then all the way down, and then rest. That might not have felt like much, but I'm going to take it one step further. You will have both legs in tabletop. Pull up. Both feet will be flexed. Arms are where you need them to be. We're going to alternate. Tap your right heel, lift. Tap your left heel, lift. Right, left, right, left. Do you feel your lower abs? Right, left. Ooh, 1 more, right. Last one, left. And then rest. I hope you felt them. I did. Whew. So that targets the abs that are below the belly button instead of the hip flexors or the thighs. Our thighs are strong, our legs are strong. They're going to want to do the work because they're used to doing the work. So it might take a minute to wake up those lower abdominals. You can also always have your hands there and just like as a tactile cue, this is what needs to engage and activate. So feel free to play around with that in your own time. I'm going to leave it there for today. Let your knees fall one way, turn your head the other way. There's another version, or kind of the opposite of that. It's an exercise called marching, which the emphasis, you start with both feet down and you just lift and lift, lift and lift. That gets into it a little bit too. So feel free to try that one if you want, but and then coming back to your back. Alright, we're going to finish up today with our hundreds. So a reminder that the hundreds are classically about the breath. In our next video, you're going to see them very, very, very early. So that's a heads up. Classically about the breath and just getting everything flowing and moving together. Options for your legs. You can keep your knees bent and your feet flat. You can take the legs to tabletop. They can be hip distance or all the way together. Or you can have your legs straight in the air. Easier, harder, hardest. choose your own adventure with where you want to be today. I'm going to start with my feet down. Arms are hip height and really strong, coming from your back up and down. Not just the wrist, not just like energy through the fingers. I see so much of this, and it's such an easy thing to fix. So if you find as we're going, I might yell out, what about the arms? Whoa. Like that. Inhale, exhale for 5. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. That is the traditional way of cueing the breath, and we're going to do that today. Your head and shoulders are lifted. If the neck starts to hurt, always take the head down. Don't put one hand or one hand. We want to stay symmetrical. Rest the head. You are also free to turn the head side to side if you want. That doesn't always work. It's always an option to take your head down. So if your neck is feeling okay, we'll start with it lifted. Reach your arms long. Pump those arms up and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 4 more sets. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. How are the arms? Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, everyone. Rest the head. Rest the body. Take another twist if you want. Make your way up so that you are sitting. Sit in however position you would like. Take one arm down, take one arm up, stretch the side of the body. Try not to let the ear be at the shoulder, try not to let the elbow be bent and the hand at your face or your ear, but reach. Come on up and the other side. Keep your opposite hip down, keep both hips down. And up one more time. Last one. And up. Nice work, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another beginner series, video number 2. I got video number 3 coming at you next. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.